Hello, welcome to Jason the Old Millennial. My name is Jason, speaking to you here in my basement in the great state of Kansas. Today's video, I'm continuing my series of ranking every single Pixar movie, all 26 movies that have come out. I'm now ready for number 19 through number 16 on my list, so stay tuned to see that here on Jason the Old Millennial. Hello, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well here on a Wednesday night. Hope you're having a good week. And a lot's happened. We had the Oscars this last week, and now we're getting to March Madness. So I'm excited to see my KU Jayhawks. As you can see in the background, I got a Jayhawk there. Got my Jayhawk hat here. So see if they can repeat the championship from last year. Anyway, so pretty cool last week. Definitely want to do a video on the Oscars probably Friday. I'll be able to have time to do a live stream and talk about my thoughts there. But anyways, this video, we're going to continue to talk about Pixar. Pixar, one of my favorite animation studios, one of the best animation studios we've had. Though as of late, the movies haven't been very good. Early on, the movies are absolutely amazing. But we're still kind of towards the bottom of the half of the list. So these aren't movies that I really care to watch again, or I would never probably own myself. Anyway, so we still haven't got to the real good ones yet, but I'm starting with number 19 on my list. My 19th favorite Pixar movie is Onward, which came out, I feel like just a couple years ago, not too long ago. And this is one, I don't know if it came straight to Disney Plus. It might have been in the movie theaters as well, but it seemed like it came on Disney Plus fairly quickly. And this is an interesting movie. It kind of deals with fantasy, with these like, I don't know, troll-like characters, and deals with loss of a father, and the main character trying to use a magic spell to bring his father back for just one day, just so he can, because his father died when he was young, so he never got to have a chance to really bond with his father. And it kind of revolves around that, and they go on kind of this mystical quest. But yeah, it's kind of a modern day world. It's like mystical creatures in the modern day world type of theme in there. Anyways, and yeah, this one, most part, I don't know, I wasn't totally into the story. And I don't know, I wasn't into the characters. I didn't find the movie to be all that funny, like I usually like my Pixar movies to be. Yeah, and so most part, it was kind of a boring movie. I will say the last part of the movie, it really lacks a villain till the very end. All of a sudden, this villain kind of shows up, and they have to fight it. And the last, like, I don't know, 15 minutes or so of the movie, there's actually a really good action sequence that actually was really well done. I like the villain that comes up and how they have to fight it and how they have to work together. And overall, it's like done really well, choreographed well, edited well, shot well, as you can say, and had a great ending to it. And there's definitely an emotional end to the movie. And if you've seen any of the kind of special features on it, the person who wrote the movie had a similar thing happen to his family with his father dying when he was young. So I do like the emotional aspect of it, but just the last part is good. The rest of it, just not that great. And so I have it here at number 19, Onward. Number 18, I have The Good Dinosaur. And this is such a strange movie because I feel like I remember it coming out like the same year as another movie. And I'm forgetting what year that was, but the other movie that came out was a much bigger Pixar movie, a much better one. So, and Pixar usually does like one movie a year. So I remember this Good Dinosaur like not being as marketed as much as the other Pixar movie. So I felt like it was kind of a forgotten movie that kind of came out and left, and nobody ever talked about it really. And it's never been one I think it's ever mentioned when you talk about great Pixar movies, and just kind of left on the wayside. And in fact, this is one that took me a long time before I finally got around to watching it, because just the trailer did not look interesting at all. And I feel like we've done dinosaur movies already in animation, so I felt like another dinosaur movie, like I don't know if I need another one. And the animation looked a little weird to me. I don't know. As far as Pixar animation is top tier animation, this one looked not as good. And like I said, it just felt like it wasn't marketed as much. It makes me wonder if the Pixar even believed that much into that movie. And, they made it and they're like, well, we made it. Let's just put it out. Instead of, making it like the marquee movie of the year like they usually do, they must have said, well, this other movie's better, so we'll put The Good Dinosaur out first, and then we'll put out this other movie that will, definitely be overcome The Good Dinosaur. I don't know, that's what I felt like to me. So I felt like it's just a a B tier, I don't know how to say, uh, effort into this movie or something. But yeah, it's another. It feels like Ice Age a little bit to me. Like there's a dinosaur and he's lost. He's trying to find his family, and he meets a human child who acts like an animal, and he's trying to help the child find his family. I don't know. I feel like it's something that's been done before, and so nothing really interesting about the story. Like I said, I didn't care for the animation. It felt off. It didn't feel like as good as they could do animation wise. And the villains were like pterodactyls, which is okay, but not anything spectacular. And it's just a movie that, I mean, it's definitely supposed to be, I think, a movie that's supposed to make you emotional, but I never got emotional during it. And it didn't have the laughs, like I said. I say this all the time because my favorite movies are the animation movies are the ones that make me laugh quite a bit. So yeah, I just lacked in all that. It's just a forgetful movie for me. So I have a Good Dinosaur at number 18 on my list. Number 17 is Lightyear, which just came out this last year. And this was such a big kind of flop movie for Pixar. And it was such a weird concept. I remember when they first said, oh, we're going to make a Lightyear movie. I'm like, okay, I'm all for a Toy Story movie just about Buzz Lightyear, that toy, and his adventures. And then they're like, well, no, it's not the toy Lightyear. It's the TV show that the toy Lightyear was based off of, or a movie that was based off of, this fictional movie that they're making up in the Toy Story universe, I guess, kind of, you can say. And I don't know, it's just a weird concept. I remember when I heard that, I was like, I don't like this idea at all. Like, I'd rather just have a Toy Story movie about Buzz Lightyear, the toy. And so, and you see the trailer, and the trailers just did not look interesting at all. I don't know. It just, to me, from the very beginning, I thought this doesn't look like it would work at all. It had some controversy behind it, and it came out, didn't do very well. Kind of a, I don't know what to say. It's almost, it's this really downturn that Pixar and Disney Animation total has been going down a downward spiral. And this is one of them that you can point to that just shows that they just don't know how to make a good movie anymore, it feels like. And anyways, I didn't see this, of course, until it came out on Disney Plus. I definitely didn't want to go see it in the theater. It didn't look interesting enough. And yeah, it wasn't as bad as I thought because of all the bad reviews I heard and all this stuff. It wasn't great. I still is bottom tier Pixar for me. I think the animation is really good though. I'll say this about it: like it's really nice to look at. They do an amazing job with the animation. Some of the action sequences are really well done, and I like that. I think the Buzz Lightyear character is just not that interesting of a character. I mean, I can see his arc. He has this interesting, like, I'll do it alone arc, but then at the end he finds out, oh, I need to let people help me, not be this macho. And I'll do it myself and don't trust anybody, into somebody who trusts other people to help him in situations anyway. So I mean, that's a decent arc there for the character, but again, it lacks any real humor in it, I think. And the story just wasn't interesting enough for me. I mean, it's a pretty complicated story, to be honest, maybe too complicated. And it didn't really feel like Buzz Lightyear. Like it's Lightyear, this fictional movie thing that the toy is based off of, but he even has some lines. They cleverly, or somewhat cleverly, try to use lines in the movie that they've used in other Toy Story movies to go, oh, that's why we got these other lines in these other toys, because it's like a prequel almost in a sense. But yeah, and the ending, I don't know, I wasn't so crazy about it, and it was okay, not great. It just wasn't quite there for me. So that's why I got Lightyear at number 17. So we're kind of getting to the okay route where it's like, I don't hate these movies. They're just not movies I really like that much. I'm like, oh, I'm going to watch it again. These are all movies I watched, once or twice, and I don't really care to watch again. And so then the last movie I'm going to talk about kind of is in that category, and that is Monsters University at number 16 on my list. This was a sequel to Monsters Incorporated, which is, you'll see, much higher on my list. And so I was really excited when this movie came out because I love the monster character so much. It's one of my favorite, almost, I don't want to say franchise, but there's also a TV show. They did one season of a show in the Monsters universe. I forget what it's called. It's called Monsters something. And it's on Disney Plus, and it's a really funny show, and I really like it. It has a lot of the characters from the movie like Sully and Mike Wazowski in it. And so yeah, so it's like anytime they put anything out that has those characters in it, like I'm on board because I love those characters. And so this is definitely one where I was a little disappointed with the movie because I was so excited when they're like, all right, another monsters movie with these characters I love. And it's a prequel where it's them in college, they're at Monsters University and trying to learn how to be a scarer so they can work for Monsters Incorporated and be on the scare floor. And that's their dream. So it's not a bad idea for a prequel or sequel kind of movie. But I don't know, it just wasn't executed very well, I think. And though I like the characters, they made them that they aren't getting along really. And so this whole idea of like they don't get along, but then they become friends during the movie, which I guess is fine. But we already seen them as good friends, so I just like it when they're good friends. And you see some origins of different characters that come through there. They introduce a lot of new characters, and I didn't care for any of the new characters, and I didn't think they were funny or interesting. And this whole monsters game thing that they're doing at the college, they could definitely use the college atmosphere to do some comedy and some interesting things because they're building this world, this monsters world that lives kind of this other universe beyond the closet. I don't know. They just didn't do a good enough job making it interesting or funny. And I watched it. I remember watching the movie theater and being really disappointed with it and being like, oh, that just was nowhere near as good. And maybe it's because the expectations are so high because Monsters Incorporated is one of the best Pixar movies in my opinion. So how do you make a sequel or prequel to it and not meet those expectations? That's always difficult. If you're making a sequel, you have to meet or exceed the expectations of the first one. And that's why sequels have trouble, I think, including the Cars sequels, as I've said before, really fall short. So yeah, I watched this again and I felt the same way. It was a very boring movie to me, very dull. I didn't really care for the story all that much. And it just lacks the laughs that the first one had. The first one was just absolutely hilarious. This one just not provide the same entertainment for me anyway. So unfortunately, like I said, it's right in the middle, kind of at number 16. It's getting kind of towards the middle of the Pixar ranking. Still just not a very interesting or good enough movie to get into top tier Pixar. So still kind of the bottom half to me anyway. So that's Monsters University at number 16 on my list. And it's the last movie I'll talk about on here. So please tell me what you think about these 4 movies. What movies would you put in this, in the Pixar in this ranking? I appreciate everybody that puts their movies on there. I know everybody was quick to tell me Ratatouille was like their favorite movie, which I knew they would. I was like, I know, Ratatouille. Everybody loves Ratatouille but me. That's just one of those things. I don't know why. But I know Jacob Martin's been ranking them along with me, and I appreciate that. I love seeing other people's rankings and how we're different and where we put those anyway. So yeah, I really enjoy the comments. Please keep commenting on them and talking about Pixar. And yeah, tell me what you love about these movies and all that, and I'll read them and comment back. And yeah, so thank you for everybody that's commenting. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you for liking it. And thank you to all of my subscribers for supporting the channel. I really appreciate you all and hope you have a good day.